Hey guys, Alan here. Well, today is the second installment of my vlog. Took the day off. I have some personal things to attend to today. And of course, today's my MRI. Which I'm not worried about. That's nothing. Except that I'm going to be hungry because I haven't been able to eat today. But I wanted to rant a little too about another reason to carry a gun. I live in pretty much a small town in a nice little neighborhood, and just the other day, this 19-year-old guy was leaving a local store, who I personally know the owners of the store. And they're great people. Anyways, and he asked this 26-year-old woman for help. He told her that his grandma had fallen down, and could she give him a ride and possibly help him pick his grandma up from the floor. And so she did. And when they got into the house, no grandma on the floor. He wrapped an electrical wire around her neck, was strangling her, dragged her down to the basement, started beating her, and for whatever reason he left her alone for a few minutes, and she escaped and then called the cops. And it turns out this kid, this punk ass, excuse my language, had a PPO against him from a former girlfriend that he apparently had abused a bit. He was stalking a couple different girls, and I posted the article on Facebook, and it turns out one of my best friends from high school, this kid was stalking his daughter his daughter was one of the girls that this kid was stalking. So anyways, he got busted. But it's another reason to carry a gun, to have a concealed carry permit, especially women. But that's all I have to say about that. Alright, well, I'm going to run these errands, and I'll be back. Thanks for watching. Alright, well, now I'm on my way to get my MRI. And I wanted to clear something up from my last vlog. I mentioned something about not wanting to tell my mom or my sister about it to upset them. I meant sisters. I have two sisters. Of course, I have two stepbrothers also, but but the ladies I didn't want to upset. So I'm not telling anybody anything until I know what's going on. And I remember that I said my dad and I are pretty close. My dad and I are very close. Ever since I have been old enough to be on my own, my dad and I have become very good friends, and I really look up to him. And he's been a great dad and a great friend. But anyways, what I was talking about earlier, about the gun, about the lady getting abducted, I just really think that there's really no safe place anymore. Yes, the lady could have not went with him and helped him, but you think you're in a nice neighborhood, everybody around here is generally nice, but it just goes to show you never know. And I don't want to be one of those people who trusts no one, but you can take trust so far. You can trust people superficially, but I'm a big believer in taking steps to defend yourself. You know, at least if you have a weapon, or, you know, especially a gun. Made for ladies, you know, get a little pocket pistol, like an LCP. That's what I carry when I'm at work. But in something like that, boy, if that guy's choking her, she could have easily reached into her pocket and blown him away. Or at least, you know, put a bunch of holes in him, and at least it would have given her an escape. Obviously, she ended up escaping, but still, I'm just saying, you never know. If he hadn't left her alone for a while and he just continued to beat her to death, then that would have been it. I don't know. There's a lot of talk about on YouTube about carrying guns, and you can't carry in certain places in public, and I don't know. I don't believe in that at all. It's quite honestly like being at a movie theater, you know. In Michigan, I guess we're not supposed to carry there, which sucks because obviously you could just be at a movie theater and you get shot. I don't think public places should ever be, within reason, public places shouldn't be gun-free. I agree with schools and banks and whatever, government agencies, but I don't know. That's my view on it. Alright guys, well, thanks for watching, whoever watched, and I'm just a couple blocks away from the hospital. I'm getting the MRI, and well, I'll give you an update when I find out what's going on. So anyways, thanks for watching. Well, I just left my MRI, and that was fun. That took all afternoon. My appointment was scheduled for Wednesday, today, August 9th. So I get in there at the appropriate time, and they said, well, today's Wednesday, but tomorrow is August 9th. So I told them, hey, look, I took today off for this. You know, I made arrangements, so is there any way you can just get me in? And they said, yeah. Well, to put it this way, I came to the hospital at 1:45, and it's now 5 o'clock, and I'm just leaving. So, but it's pretty painless. A couple pretty girls waiting on me in the MRI, and one is single, so that's something to think about. Anyways, alright, well, hope everybody's having a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back.